Hello, Brubs. We're back with Anyone's Son, a true story. Roberta Roche with Harry De La Roche Jr. The only real mystery we have here is what happened to Ronald. The rest we know. 16. The morning was growing endless down at the Montvale station, and the constant grilling and interrogation added to my state of shock. Once I was asked if I wanted the doctor, and there's the train. But I answered no. Later I said I do want a doctor, but I didn't see one that day. I was starting to get confused, but the sworn statement went on as Detective O'Donovan and Investigator Del Preet continued. Question. Let's go back to when you found your parents and your brother in the house. When you found them in the house, did you go to any of the rooms to see if anybody was alive or see their condition? Answer. I went to see my father. When I touched him, he was cold and I couldn't feel any pulse at all. I did not want to try getting the pulse around his neck because it was all bloody. I tried his arm, tried to get any sign of life, and I saw Eric on the floor, and I knew. Question. How many guns were in your house? Answer. There are 3 pistols and 1 rifle. Question. Who did these guns belong to? Answer. They're all under my father's name. I used to use the rifle when I went shooting, but I haven't used them in the past almost 2 years. More questions about the guns followed, and I told Del Preet and O'Donovan how I had cleaned the .22 and loaded it the previous week. Next came the questions about the coin collection and spending the $1,600. Once Del Preet asked to go off the record to discuss the money in my possession. After we finished, we discussed returning for my mother's car. Question. At the time your father made you aware of the problem with Ronald? Answer. Yes, he did. Question. Were you, your father, and Ronald engaged in an argument? Answer. Not at that time. I did not see my brother Ronald. Question. Where was Eric at this time? Answer. I don't know. I did not see him. Question. Could you hear Ronnie at all? Answer. I really wasn't listening for him. Question. Ronald apparently had come back to the house from Nottingham Court at this time. Answer. He may or may not have. Question. Was this argument between your father and Ronald taking place before you took Ronald to the Nottingham apartments, or do you believe it took place sometime after? Answer. I think it took place after, but with any little arguments they were having at home when I was home, they kind of kept quiet because they didn't want to bother me with that. They said it was my vacation. They didn't want to bother me with that. Question. In these arguments and discussions, did your mother take part at all? Answer. Not that I know of. Question. Did your father become violent with Ronald as far as cursing him? A. Not that I know of. Question. Did Ronald become violent with your father as far as cursing him? Answer. Not that I know of. Question. Did your father relate to you that Ronald had threatened him in the course of the discussion? Answer. Yes. Question. What exactly did he say? Answer. He said he would bury my father under Ronnie's bed. Question. What was your mother's reaction at this time during the discussion with your father? Answer. My mother did not say a word. Question. Did she overhear the conversation? Answer. Yes, she did. Question. Had Ronald ever threatened your father before, either with running away from home? Answer. When my father did hit him on different occasions, he said he would get even or he would run away or something, but this was a while before. My father had not done any hitting for a while. Question. Approximately how long ago did you and your father discuss this situation involving Ronald? Answer. A very short time, around 5 or so minutes. I said I did not want to hear it, that my father would turn in my own brother. I was going to come back today and say, if you turn Ronnie in, I'm not going back to the Citadel, and that's money wasted. Question. What was your father's reaction to that? A. I did not have a chance to tell him. Next, I was asked about the beer that I had in the back of the car and drank on Summit Avenue. Question. How much beer did you drink? Answer. I would say about 4.5 cans. I didn't finish the last one. Question. About how long did you stay there? Answer. I cannot be sure. I did not have my watch on, and I didn't have my radio on. Question. What did you do with the empty cans after you drank the beer? Answer. I had them in the car. I put them back in the wrapper, and then as I was going along the road further on down, I cut through New York. I chucked them out the window into the woods. Question, you went home and parked the car in the garage where you usually park it? Answer, no, I did not. I drove the car behind the station wagon. Question, about what time was that? Answer, at that point I wasn't sure what time it was. I pulled the watch out of my pocket. The watch said 4:01. By investigator Del Preet. Question, what lights were on when you came into the house? Answer, there weren't any. By Detective O'Donovan. Question, no lights on anywhere? Answer, no lights on anywhere. I went upstairs. There was a street light outside my mother's window. From the light inside, I could see a dim shadow. I noticed my father was not in his bed, and I turned on the light. At this point, Lieutenant Scarangella of the Montvale Police knocked on the door of the conference room and asked to talk to Del Preet and O'Donovan. Both of the officers left the room, and I was told we'd stop for a moment while we took a short recess. And we shall take another recess because this section is over. That's all, bro. Goodbye until next time.